What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listening to episode 622. We are back in the Virzi household studio. I hope you guys are great. Hope you guys are doing great in between shows. Yeah, I kind of like rocking the solos during the summer just because people are on vacation. The city's congested and hot. It's like, whatever, man, whatever. Even if it affects the numbers of the show, who gives a shit? I'm here rolling with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening to me talk some shit. Get the Virzi Effect everywhere we get your podcasts, iTunes and Spotify and all that shit, all the places that you get your pod. You could listen to your boy talk some shit, do some rants. Last week we did a solo on the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Some people got mad. I can't believe you'd say this, take this down. Now things are coming out saying that, I guess they saying some things that there was phone calls from that kid's house, 10 phone calls or something from that kid's house to a building next to the FBI building leading up. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Again, I'm a comedian who tells dick jokes. But yeah, man, I'm just sticking with what I said. And I just find it weird that we're not finding out a lot more about this kid or a ton more about this kid. I heard somebody say something online going, when it's a school shooting, you find out everything within 48 hours. And I feel like, not enough information has been out. But you know what? We're going to lay off that this week. We're going to go a little lighter this week. Too much shit in the news, too many protests, too much fighting and burning this and burning flags and showing fucking dead kids and all this horrible, horrible shit. So we'll change it up. But speaking of telling dick jokes, guys, this weekend, this Friday and Saturday, I will be in Seattle at Laugh Comedy Club in Seattle. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. I heard tickets are going. I have not been in that part of the country in a minute, so I can't wait to do that. Let me know if you're going, where I should go eat. Let me know if there's good golf out there. Let me know what is to offer out there in the Seattle area. They told me it's going to be cloudy the whole time I'm there. I don't give a shit. I love cloudy. I love doing anything when it's cloudy, even a little light drizzle. I'll do that shit all day. I'll do that shit all day. I've said it before on the show. People that love great weather all the time, a little soft, something's off. They're hiding the darkness. You got to just embrace the fucking rain hitting the window. It's an amazing feeling. It really is an amazing feeling. But I want to get into some cool movie shit today. I want to talk about some movie stuff. I'm always looking for new movies. I'm always looking for good shows. Okay. And I'm trying to think of what I watched. I watched Cobra Kai, and let's be honest, it just has to wrap up. It has to wrap up. No disrespect. I have a friend in Cobra Kai. I know people that took part in Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is a great fun show, especially if you watch The Karate Kid. They really did a good job with it, but it really is just time to wrap it up. Enough with like every rival bumping into each other and karate, like a big giant karate fight. It's also weird how like everybody knows karate. So it's like every time a fight breaks out, people just are getting in a karate stance. And it's like, listen, it's just time now. Like the guy escapes jail. He's in Japan. I mean, it's nuts. It's fucking nuts. It's time to go. It's gone completely to the point where all good shows most good shows end up. Can we agree? Most good shows end up going a little too far and people looking at each other going, this is a little much. It's nuts. Um, that being said, and again, man, as somebody that, I'm in the business and I love to act, and the right opportunities to act is great. I watched the 3rd season of The Bear, and it was interesting. It was interesting. It wasn't like season 2 because it was so much different. It was more like being in his mind and what was going on in his mind. I'm hoping the second half really put some closure to what happened, but I'm just getting a lot of stuff done. Like I got the bear done, and this is all stuff after, long day of work, man, doing a bunch of shit, traveling, going to the city, doing podcasts, coming home, the family's sleeping. I go down and I watch some things, and I'm trying to not stay up too late. But so I got rid of the bear. I got rid of Cobra Kai. And then I watched this movie last night on Netflix called Land of Bad, I believe. Dude, if you like Lone Survivor or shit like that, this one was good. This one was good. Um, Russell Crowe is in it, and actors that you would recognize. I don't know if that was, what's the kid's name? Hold on. Just because I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm going to do it right here on the show, guys. That's how I'm going to do it. Uh, yeah, Land of Bad. I think it was it, what's his name? Yes. Yes. That's what I had. I had a feeling. Um, Luke Hemsworth is in it. Liam's Henworth. Liam Henworth is in it. Russell Crowe. A bunch of people, man, are in it, and really good. But wait, who did I didn't see him. I didn't see Liam Hemsworth in it, or was that Liam Hemsworth? And who was this guy? Well, I don't know which one. Anyway, the Hemsworth, two or three of the Hemsworth brothers were in it, and it was great. It was great. Um, Based on true events, I guess, happened in Asia, but I think what it was they had to go for a mission to go get somebody, and there's just four of them, and it's supposed to be a quick thing. And then shit goes awry, and everybody knows they're there, and they're trying to get out of there, and they can't. And really good. If you love military shit, if you love movies like that, if you love like movies like how the fuck is he going to get out of this one? If you love guns, if you love heroic army military shit, then this is the movie for you. I was just scrolling. I saw that it was like number 3 in the country. I watched it, and it was one of those movies where I literally was like, "Oh my god, dude, that was awesome. This is awesome." It just hit me. Russell Crowe. It's got not sensitive. What's the word I'm looking for? Suspenseful moments, a couple of sensitive things, but like in a funny way, nothing like over the top, nothing like corny. Russell Crowe plays a guy that's like flying the drone, like from a he's like inside of a, you know, he's like inside an office, and they're where they are, but like they have control of the drones from inside. So the soldier could be like, dude, you got to blow up this bridge. And he's like, 1 second. And he just fucking from his control panel at home. Be like if from here, I was looking on another screen of soldiers and they're telling me to blow something up, and I do it from my house. Like it was wild. Really dope. Check it out. Land of Bad, 2024 new army military movie. I think you guys will love it. And it got the Virzi effect. 2 thumbs up. Absolute. I give that shit a 8.9 out of 10. Okay. I think it's a can't miss, but you do have to like that type of movie. All right. If you love if you like just movies like The Notebook, I don't think that this is gonna, you know, I mean, there's people getting cut up, there's blood, there's guns, there's executions. So if you can't handle that, if you don't like that, then you might want to go to a rom-com. But if you like what I just said, oh boy, the Virzi effect just gave you a doozy. Thank me later. Thank me fucking later. Um, Other things that are coming out to watch, guys, is the Olympics. Now, I heard some people on the radio talk about the Olympics, and I didn't like this comment. The comment was, yeah, usually in the Olympics we have stars and we know who's gonna be there, and other than like Simone Biles, like we don't have a star, there's no Michael Phelps. And I wanted to be like, well, isn't that kind of cool? I kind of like when you don't know anything about somebody and then you watch the Olympics and they become somebody. Isn't that part of it? Isn't that what it should be? Um, so that's how I look at it. Like it, it's it's like I'm not watching the Olympics for star power. As a matter of fact, when you watch the Olympics for star power and that star doesn't perform or get a gold, it's disappointing. But when you just watch an up and comer and you watch somebody new and you watch somebody start taking over for our country, then they become a star and then it just it's awesome. Of course you got like, United States basketball, who by the way, they're coming way too close against some of these teams, which I don't like to see. But yeah, you got your LeBron James and you got your Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant and all these players on the team, Jason Tatum, all these guys on United States basketball, which is great. But like that team just always should win, and when it's not, it's a disappointment. So like I don't get excited about that. I get excited about the swimming. I get excited about summer. Dude, I'll watch track and field. I'll watch diving. I watch all the shit. Um, Volleyball. Dude, I gotta tell you guys a funny story. Okay. I go to this I got two really great stories on the Virzi effect today. But one is incredible. One is incredible. And I was like, when this happened, I was like, I need to share this on the show. I don't care if two people listen to this. I just want to share this story because it's incredible. The other one is just a funny story, and it kind of came it was just like I couldn't believe that I was doing it and then loving it. So I got a buddy and he's a dad that's his daughter's friends with my daughter, and he's a big Yankee fan. He's like a Cowboy fan, and our girls have played soccer together for 5 years, and they're just going to play soccer together for another 7 years. Like they're going to just, our girls just have been playing soccer together since they were very small. So I've come to become friends with this guy. Long story short, a bunch of us go and play decide to go in a car service, 8 of us, to go down to Yankee Stadium, watch a Yankee game, hang out, smoke a cigar, drink, and have a car take us back. So we get there early. We're, had a couple of pops in the car ride. We get down, we get our cigars, and we get dropped off at a park, which is 2 blocks away from Yankee Stadium. We're going to sit on a bench in the park, smoke a cigarette, maybe have another drink, and then walk into the stadium. We get there, we take our cigars out, and this dude looks down and he sees like a volleyball net, like with dirt under it, like a dirty and like 3-on-3 guys like barefoot. And he goes, I'm sorry, I got to go play volleyball. I thought he was fucking around. So I'm like, yeah, me too. Next thing you know, dude, he puts his cigar down and he just marches down, like starts stretching. Meanwhile, it's like these Ecuadorian guys or whatever, South American guys playing barefoot 3-on-3. And he just walks in. He's got like a fucking Bernie Williams jersey on, whatever. And he just like starts stretching. We're like, is he fucking for real? And then the guy walks over and is like, oh, you can't play. You need your own team. And he marches back so pissed off. And we thought he was joking. So it was kind of a joke the whole time that he wanted to play volleyball that bad and would just get into this game with these dudes. So we're joking about it. We took video of him walking back all pissed off. His hands were on his hips. He really did. He looked like a baseball manager after an argument he lost walking back to the dugout. And he comes back and I was like, dude, you were serious? And he's like, oh, I love volleyball. So we go to his house to watch a soccer game and he's cooking. His wife is lovely. They're barbecuing for us. They made hamburgers, hot dogs, and they had gyros, like lamb meat. Like who does that? They had all kinds of meats and cheeses out. They had all kinds of like olives and shit. I mean, it was amazing. And then he's like, all right, man, everybody in the front yard, man, I want to play volleyball. And again, like you kind of think he's fucking around. And then sure enough, the kid's like, oh, yeah, let's go. Next thing you know, I'm barefoot. I am barefoot in this dude's front lawn. Rotate, getting into the game, sprinting on balls that I think I can get to. I'm falling down. My wife's like, Paul, if you hurt your back doing this shit, and they're setting us up. I start like learning how to serve good. He's got the lines in his thing, the net. And I'm like, this is probably some of the most fun. I know that this sounds nuts. All right. I know that this sounds nuts, but I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If you could play volleyball barefoot on like nice grass, it is probably one of the most fun things. Like we had a couple drinks and food, just pouring sweat, all of it coming off, all of it coming off. Um, and I was like, man, now I kind of get why this guy wants to play like, but he's the type that I could call him up and go, hey man, let's get a volleyball game. I feel like playing volleyball. And he would start cooking and be like, everybody come over for volleyball. It's nuts and awesome and cool all at the same time. And then he's like, yeah, we got to get the TV outside because we got to gamble on soccer games. Like this guy is like, I mean, lamb meat. Okay, I'm half Greek. This guy had lamb meat at a barbecue making gyros. He's got gambling on soccer. He's got competition with barefoot volleyball out in the. I mean, it was like I was like, this is a whole new fucking world for me. Um, so I'm like telling my wife, I'm like, yeah, maybe a volleyball. I mean, we got the yard for it. I mean, and before you know it, I'm gonna start calling people over. It was that fun. Uh, Now I have a great story that I want to tell on the show. Hold on, bear with me. All right, guys. So I'm going to tell you this story. If you guys know me, you know that I'm a big believer in I believe in God. I believe in divine intervention. I believe in karma. I believe the universe brings things back. And this story is a really cool example of that. It was something that reminded me of all of the things that I believe. And sometimes time goes by and you forget these things, you're just life is happening. You don't really think of it. So, um, we have very dear friends of our family, very, very dear, dear friends. I would say these people are probably the most comfortable that I could feel around than what actual family is. And it's rare to have that. Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know why the fuck this thing is going blurry. It's driving me nuts, dude. All right. All right. So, you know, you're lucky in life if you could have like friends that are like family. And I mean like the whole family. The kids get along, the parents obviously get along and all that stuff. When we first met this family, I'll never forget. They brought some food over and we were sitting on our deck and we were having some drinks and they were just talking about. It's kind of like the first date. You get to know people, you find out, right? You find out if you're going to do it again, right? And they told this story about how their son, who is best friends with my son, they play basketball together since they're in fourth grade. They play now, and they they basically, dude, I'm gonna fucking throw this camera. So they tell a story about how they went to a minor league baseball game, Renegades, back in the day in the Hudson Valley, and a foul ball hit their son, took out all his teeth. It was going 87 miles an hour off the bat or something. Oh, no, the pitch was, and it just hits him direct in the face. There's blood everywhere. And if it was higher or lower, it could have killed this kid. Great kid, too. Great kid. One of my favorite. I mean, great kid. And doesn't play baseball, and then but he's like a Yankee fan, so like I've taken my son and him to Yankee Stadium before and other friends, and you'd always kind of think, man, I hope he's not worried. I want to make sure, that's a traumatic thing. Like he's in a hospital, like could have been really, really bad. So, um, what happened was, what happened was, we're all going to Yankee Stadium years and years later. I mean, that happened when the kid was 4, and I believe he's about to be 15, right? Or 16. So long story short, we all go to Yankee Stadium. And the reason we go to Yankee Stadium is my wife is a Harry Potter nut. And she goes, "Oh, it's Harry." She loves the giveaway games. Oh, they're giving away this. They're not in a cheap way. She just loves, my wife loves a giveaway. And again, it's not cheap. We spent money on the tickets. We buy drinks, we buy food. It's just if there's a giveaway, that's the game she wants to go to. Now it's a Harry Potter hat giveaway. Okay. And we're on our way and we leave early enough. First pitch is 1:35, and we're driving down and we hit some traffic and we left 15 minutes later than my wife wanted to leave. And she's going, "Paul, if those hats are given away, because they only give them out to the first 18,000. She goes, "If those hats are given away, then I'm gonna be pissed." So like I'm panicking now because my wife, the whole reason why we got these fucking tickets was to go into this game, right? The whole reason for this fucking Harry Potter hat. And they have all the hats. They got all of the dorms in Hogwarts. Gryffindor, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Slytherin and shit, Hufflepuff, fucking Ravenclaw, that shit, right? So sure enough, we get there, we get in, and there's no hats. And I say to the guy, I go, "Oh, you guys got the Harry Potter hats?" He goes, "Sorry, we just stopped giving them away." And my wife just gives me this look and she's devastated. Devastated. And the girls walk to go get a drink, and I'm sitting there with my son and my son's friend and his dad, and we're sitting there. And my son's like, "Man, I feel really bad for mom." And my wife is devastated. Just because, like, not devastated like nuts, but like, man, I really wanted that. That's why we picked this game. So I see people walking around with these hats. So my son's like, "Yo, just throw somebody money for it." And I'm like, "You know what? You're right." So my wife still doesn't know. So I'm hoping she doesn't listen to this episode. So I see a guy walking and he's got a regular Yankee hat on like this, but then he's got the giveaway backwards. So I'm gonna go run up to that guy and offer him cash. I can't find him. I can't find him. I go, "Guys, wait here." I run down. This fucking fat dude darted out somewhere. I can't find him anymore. Okay. So I'm like, shit. So everyone's walking around with these hats and they're smiling and shit. And my wife, I'm going, I gotta get a hat before she's done getting what she gets. And I go up to this woman who walks by, young girl, young woman, I should say. My guess would be 20, mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s. And I just take out two 20s and a 10, $50. And I go, "Can I give you $50 for that hat?" She goes, "No, I'm okay," and just leaves. I'm like, "What?" So now I'm like, shit. So I'm walking back towards where everybody is. And I get back and they're still online at the concession or whatever. Because they went to the bathroom first. And I look at the guy, my son and his friend and his dad and the dad, and who's my friend, and I go, "Dude, I didn't get it." And Stacy's like, looks over at me, and I'm like, "Fuck, man." She wanted to leave 15 minutes early. I said we'll be fine. And it's like, I feel responsible. And my son is like, "Man, mom wanted that hat." And I'm like, shit. And again, I don't want to paint a picture like my wife's a nut, because she would have been fine and she would have been over it in a second. It wasn't like that, but it was just like, "Oh, let's go on that day." And then we buy tickets and don't get them. Do you know what I mean? So I see this kid and his mother, but the kid looked like a college kid sitting next to an older woman. So I figured it was the mother. She's got one of the hats and he's got the hat that my wife would wear, still tag on it. So I go up to this kid and I go, "Excuse me." And he looks, they're sitting down looking towards the game. And I go, "Excuse me, if I gave you $50 cash, would you sell me that hat?" And he kind of slowly looks at me and he looks at his mom and he goes, "I suppose I would." And I go, "Great." And I take out two 20s and a 10. He still has the tag on top of the hat. So it was like he probably just grabbed the hat and sat down. It was brand new. And he takes it off. He's like kind of like half looking at it still. And I hand him the cash and he hands me the hat. And the mother looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, thank you." And like they were psyched to get the 50. I run back, big smile on my face. I go back to my wife. I walk up to my wife online at the concession. I tap her and I go, there you go. She goes, what'd you do to get it? How much did you? I go, don't worry. I got you the hat. And she smiled and she put the hat on. And it ended up being a great thing for me because the rest of my day would have, even if she was cool, my day would have felt shitty and the game would have felt shitty and it would have been on my mind. So, my suggestion to anybody is if you ever go to a giveaway and you miss it, go up to somebody with a certain amount of cash and they're giving the shit away. So be like, hey, you want to make $50? Because who knows what they pay for their tickets? Maybe that's half the ticket. So that's what I did with there. Anyway, okay, I give you a good side story with a fucking real good story. So we go to the game. And as we're going to the game, I'm like, man, I hope your buddy doesn't really worry about foul balls or anything because of that traumatic thing. And we get these seats, and they're kind of like not too far from home plate, like a little behind on the second level, the best vantage point. My favorite section where I buy tickets for Yankee Stadium every time I go. And we're talking, and I'm like, and I was all of a sudden the dad goes, hey, so and so was at my son was at a Renegades game and he got hit in the face young. And I go, yeah, I know. I was thinking of that. And he goes, yeah, do you know, like that's when they were the Rays. That's when it was the Tampa Bay Rays minor league team. And I go, oh, that's funny. I go, now the Renegades are actually the Yankees minor league team and they're playing the Rays today. And then I go, how crazy would it be if he catches a foul ball today from the Yankees Rays game? I go, that brings the story full circle. That would be amazing. Like I go, that's how that's how like things are real if that ever happened. I go, that could happen. And they're like, oh my God, imagine that. Guys, ninth inning. Balls are fouling all over the place. The Yankees are up. A ball flies up in the air. This is the Yanks are down 2. They got one more chance to come back. Judge hit a 3-run homer. Now it's a 2-run game. We're losing 5-0. Now it's 6-4, and we still get up in the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. We got one runner on. Foul ball shoots high up. All starts coming to our section. A little in front of us. Comes down. It hits his sister's hand. And then somebody bumped her and it flies behind my son, by my son's seat. My son doesn't see it. And it's sitting right in front of his friend. And his friend picked it up and got the foul ball. And I just put my hands on my head and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And his family was nuts. And his dad's going, oh my God, Paul said that. And I just go, guys, I'm like, I got the chills. I was like, this traumatic thing that happened to this little boy at 4 years old, Renegades, Tampa Bay, and now he's there with his whole family too. By the way, this is the first time both of our families, all 8 of us went to a Yankee game together. We've been there with pieces of the family, but never all 8. Like I went one time with his dad. I went one time, brought my son and his friends, but never just our family. And one of the first things we talked about when we were sitting on my deck was this crazy story. And now we're all 8 together up there. And after that traumatic thing, and he gets a foul ball, and you could see in him, it put away all the negative memories. It put away everything. It was almost like the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, was like, this wrong is going to be righted. And it was. And he gets the ball, and you could just see in him how happy and thrilled. Then the Yankees had a chance. Runner on, Judge up. Judge hits a blast that would have tied the game. It missed the foul pole. It was 10 feet to the left of the foul pole, and everybody stood up. If that would have happened and the Yankees would have actually pulled it off, it really would have been an amazing Sunday. But in my mind, it was for that moment. My son was jacked up about it. His friend, you could tell. And I just said, man, I said, well, you better be a Yankee fan for life. And I said, that is not an accident, buddy. That is not an accident. And especially the way we talked about it. I'm going to tell you one more part of this story. that makes it even crazier. The night before, we were at their house swimming in their pool. And we go inside afterwards. We're getting ready to leave. And I say to my buddy, his dad, I said, hey, do you still want to go to the game tomorrow? I said, there's tickets. I said, we can get this row, which is better, or we can get 3 rows back, which has the aisle. So if we want to go to the bathroom, we don't have to get up. And he goes, oh, I don't care about that. Let's just get the better row, which is only 3 rows down. So instead of row 8, we were in row 5. And that's where we got the ball. So if he would have changed it, if I would have changed it, we would have never got the ball. The whole thing was, for me, I was in shock. I was in shock. Now, there's going to be dickheads listening to this go, really? Geez, the kid gets hit when he's young and then he gets a foul ball. No, no, no. The way this went down, the way the story was told to us, how we met, all of the things, all of us together, changing the seats or making sure the seats are there, mentioning it before, saying, imagine that would be really full circle. And they were just like, oh my God. And then fans were leaving going, who got the foul ball? And we were like, he did. And like, we tried to quickly tell the story. When he was young, he got hit. And they were like, oh my God, it was really fucking amazing, man. It was really amazing. And something as simple as that, but it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. And there was no doubt in my mind, what that was and what really happened, to be completely honest. So, yeah, I believe in that stuff, man. And I would always say, look out for those things in life. Look out for those things. Look out for those signs. If you think something is a sign, if you feel a certain way, if your gut is telling you something, you guys could go back to the Virzi effect. That time I felt some presence behind me and I looked and nothing was there. And then my mom came out the door and told me what she saw. That shit was real. That's intuition. All of those things, or like, I remember one time I drove to Chicago for an audition. And I didn't want to mention a feeling I had to my brother who was driving me there. But I had a feeling, and my feeling came true. And it was overwhelming. There have been multiple times where I've been to things and I said, this is going to happen. I was with somebody one time, and he was sitting next to me. And I go, dude, get up right now. He's going to hit a home run right now. I know for a fact he's going to hit a home run right now. Get up. And he started standing up. And the pitch came and the home run went over the left field fence at Yankee Stadium. And he was looking at me like I was like some kind of, and it's only happened a handful of times, but with feelings like that and saying something, whether it's putting it into existence or whether it's something that comes back in life, like full circle, it's all real. It's all fucking real, man. It's all real. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. It's one of my favorite things that happened this year. And it's probably something that I'll never not talk about. It's probably something that I'll never not talk about when baseball comes up or when anything like that comes up, because it was insane. It was an absolutely awesome thing. And the Yankees suck. They won the next day, which they split the series, and then they lost 2 in a row to the Mets, got shit on by the Mets, and the Yankees are in a bad way. The Yankees are in a bad way, but you know who's not in a bad way? The Knicks. The Knicks are coming, everybody. Also, I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be doing something on the show, because I'm doing solos and because I am, I'm always going to be, what's it called? I'm always going to be home in the summer, not going into the studio and doing all that stuff with guests and all that stuff, at least until it gets cooler. We're working on new studio stuff. So I want to do things on the show that really involve you guys. So what I want to do is I want to get questions from you, and I'm going to read questions, kind of like what I did with the unacceptables, except now I'm just going to read questions, or if you guys have want advice for things. Now, guys, obviously we are going to scan and go through all of these questions. So if you're an asshole, if you say something rude, if you say something negative, it's never going to get read on the show. And it won't even get to me, because my producer will go through it. And if it's a dickhead negative thing, it goes right in the garbage and I never know about it. Okay. So this is for real Virzi Effect fans, real people that come out to my shows, that watch my specials, that watch my clips, that have listened to the Virzi Effect, listened to my bullshit. We're going to come up with an email. I'm going to let you guys know the email next week. I think the email is going to be questions for TVE at gmail.com. Questions for TVE at gmail.com. I do not have that email yet. We are making it this week, but it's something that I want to do because I'll talk about the shit that I want to talk about, but then I want to talk about things that you, the fans, want to hear from me, want to talk to me about, any questions that you have, if you need advice, if you want to hear certain stories or like certain things you want. And the best questions and the smartest questions and the questions that we think make the most sense for the show will be read. I don't know if I'll do 3 to 5. I might do 3 to 5 an episode, depending on the question. But don't be a dick. Virzi, how big's your dick? It's, probably 8 to 10. No, in all seriousness, have smart questions, guys. Have good questions. Have questions that I would love to answer, and also the other listeners would love to hear me answer. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have that for you, and this is going to get back to interactive with you guys, like it was with the Unacceptables, because it's a lot of fun, and I love to talk to my people directly, and people that have listened all over, overseas, internationally, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna have the email for you guys next week, and please come and see me. Come and see me. I got we have Yonkers and Baltimore coming up in September. We have Rhode Island coming up. We have Tampa coming up in September. We have Seattle this week. We have where else are we going? We got Germany coming up in November. A lot of stuff. So go to paulvirzi.com for all of that stuff and start really getting your questions ready, guys. Because and these are questions that even if I have a guest, by the way, even if I have a guest, we'll probably do 3 questions with a guest. If I don't have a guest, we'll probably do something like, I don't know, 5 questions at least. Okay. So there you go. Check it out. Go to paulvirzi.com. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Check out Land of Bad. Okay. That's awesome. And I will see you guys next week, and I will let you know. But if questions for TVE at Gmail work this time, I'm going to try to get this today or tomorrow. And this won't be out for weeks. So send, if it works, send your questions to questions for TVE at gmail.com. If that doesn't work, then I will give you the email that did work next week. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I'm out of here. I will see you guys soon. Seattle, come and see me.